So interestingly, well, we're a bit all over the place.
Bit of a mix. Many places, many different countries. It's a complicated story because the military is involved in this.
I was born in Qatar. That's why I've got my abaya on today.
I was born in Taiwan, and I grew up partially in Taiwan and partially in the United States. But essentially, my mother's family is German and my father's family is English.
My mother is from New York. She's from Brooklyn, New York. And my father is from Moerdijk, a small village in Belgium, outside of Antwerp. And yeah, they met in Portugal.
I was born in England, but my dad is Polish. However, he was actually born in England too, and his parents came over in the Second World War. And then my mother is actually Irish. So she was born in Ireland and then came over to England for work, and that's where my two parents met, in England.
So my mum is from South Africa. She's Afrikaans and grew up on a farm. My dad is Belgian, but left Belgium when he was about 10 years old, moved to South Africa.
My mum and dad are technically British. Mum was born and brought up in the UK. My dad was an army kid, so he was born in Cyprus, but then grew up in the UK. But he's got a mix of Irish and also English heritage. By the 1980s, they had left the UK, so it's a bit different since then.
My mother is from Northern Ireland. My father's Italian, but I was born in Nigeria.
So for the first 11 years of my life, I grew up in South Africa, in a small town called Newcastle. My mum always wanted to go live overseas and have that experience, so we moved to Turkey in 2002.
I did most of my growing up in a small country called Bahrain in the Middle East. I was actually born in Kenya, lived there for about 3 years. That's where my parents were for a good 10 years of their life.
I spent 2 years in Nigeria, then I moved to Yugoslavia, which is now Serbia, for 4 years. Then I moved to Algeria for 4 years, and then I had 8 years in Singapore, and then I went to University of England.
And then finished up my high school in Tokyo, Japan, which was incredible.
My family are both from the UK, from the northeast, a place called Newcastle.
I then had 2 years in Singapore. I don't think they like the weather. So they moved to Bahrain, which suited them a bit more, and they've been there since 1997.
So whenever people ask me where I'm from, it's always that slightly strange, I'm from the UK, I'm from Newcastle, but I don't think anyone would ever describe me as a Geordie. And we moved to Dubai, which at the time was unknown. It wasn't the holiday destination it is now. Definitely not.
I always found it really difficult when people ask me where I come from, so that's mostly been the largest thing for me to contend with.
And I suppose, that's where I'm from.